Is the housing market about to crash? This is the biggest question that I'm getting from sellers, buyers, family, and friends. I'm going to go over a few points here to hopefully bring some perspective to that question. So this first website is from Adam. This is a chart that shows the historical foreclosure rates going back to 2025. So you can see here in this 20-year period, we actually have the third lowest, 2024, the third lowest year for foreclosure filings. We're actually 2020, 2021, 2024, those are the three lowest years. 2024 compared to 2019, we're 28% lower than prior to the pandemic, 28% lower, fewer foreclosure filings than we had prior to the pandemic, the last year. So that's one huge factor. We are not having a foreclosure crisis right now. We're at historic lows for foreclosure filings. So the next little bit of information we're going to go over has to do with standards, with mortgage lending standards. So back in 2025 over here, which this is what led up to the foreclosure crisis in 28, 29, they had the subprime mortgage lending, which we don't have today. We had no income, no asset, no verification for mortgages, which meant anybody could get a mortgage. Your dog could get a mortgage. It was just ridiculous. They were giving mortgages to people who in no way, shape, or form could have paid back those mortgages. That's why we had the 2028, 2029 financial crisis. It's much more stringent today. We don't have those same kind of subprime mortgages. So the last little bit of data here, we're going to talk about equity in our homes. So this bit of information here is from the St. Louis Fed. They have a lot of really good charts. So the Fed. But this says that 42%, this was in 2023, actually in today, 2025, it's 40%, but 40% of all properties in the United States are owned without a mortgage. There's no mortgage on 40% of all properties. So if we switch over to this other chart here, this is going to show us homes that do have a mortgage, what the loan to value is. So the loan to value means my mortgage, I owe this much mortgage and my house is worth this much. So if we look at Michigan, where we are here, so our loan to value is 61%. So our loan has 61% of the total value of our house. So the flip side to that would be that we have about 40% equity, 39% equity in our homes. So if we were to have a market crash of some sort, which we do not have, but if we were to have a market crash of some sort, we have the capabilities of absorbing some of that market crash, not having to sell our homes, or if we did have to sell our home, we would still have equity and get money out of those properties. So nationwide, all of the states, it's 65%. So that means nationwide, we have 35% home equity across the country. So hopefully that gives people a little bit of peace of mind. That's where we're at today. No market crash. Thanks so much.